Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Joe Monastero. I'm the Chief Strategist and Operations Officer for the Texas Restaurant Association. Joining me today is our President and CEO, Dr. Emily Williams-Knight, along with Dr. Dan McCoy, the President of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas, Ed Nelson, the President of Whataburger, and Diana Kloesel, the owner of Kloesel Steakhouse in Moulton, Texas, for a very special announcement today. Before we begin, this has been a project in the works now for about the last month, and I would be remiss if I didn't say a very, very special thank you to someone who's not on the panel with us today, and that's Sheena Payne from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas, with whom I've had the pleasure of working with to get everything ready for this. So thank you to her and to the entire staff at Blue Cross and Blue Shield for this announcement today in advance. And with that, I will pass it over to you, Dan, to get us started.
Well, thank you very much, and it's an honor to be here today. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas is the state's largest insurer. We're also celebrating this past year our 90th anniversary. So what most people don't understand is that the whole industry of health insurance actually started here in Texas. And today we're blessed to serve over 6 million members in 254 counties, and it puts us in a unique position during this unprecedented time because we sit between this nexus between our customers and our members, the communities in which we serve, and also healthcare providers and first responders. We were looking for something unique to do to really support those first responders and also to support our customers, both large and small. And we thought that this effort really put us in a unique opportunity to be able to do that. We applaud the work of the Texas Restaurant Relief Fund and its effort to support independent restaurateurs and their employees. There's a lot of work that's being done to help those that are impacted by COVID-19. But this public health crisis will have a lasting impact on our communities. We have committed to put $1 million into the Texas Restaurant Relief Fund. And with that money, we're able to work with 2 large chains to help reach across the state, impacting as many frontline healthcare workers and first responders as possible. And we also understand the importance of supporting our local restaurants. So much of our state today is rural and is small, with small towns and small restaurants. And half of these funds will go to support directly local restaurants that in turn can support frontline healthcare workers and first responders with meals. So the idea here is that this money goes to restaurants to help supply food and beverage to frontline first responders who are helping to take care of COVID victims during this crisis. We established this collaborative grant fund to provide and to help get resources to community-based organizations that are directly supporting local residents and families who are really most impacted by this emerging health, I would say also economic and social impacts from COVID-19. This donation builds on our long history of supporting our community organizations, and now more than ever, it's important to support the areas where our communities need it most. COVID-19 is not something we can address alone. It's going to take a broad group of various stakeholders to help bring meaningful support to the people that are impacted. I was chatting with many of our hospital colleagues, physician colleagues, customers, and even individual members. And the amount of effort that's needed to really bring relief to this group is unimaginable. So it will take these kind of efforts working across boundaries and bringing unique stakeholders together to be able to solve that. All of us must continue to work together as Texans through this public health crisis. And in these critical times, we're excited to stand with the Texas Restaurant Association and with our customers and local restaurants and with those first responders to offer some help during this time. Emily, I'm going to introduce you to talk a little bit about this project.
Sure. Dan, before I begin my remarks, I definitely just want to say thank you. This is an incredible gift. It's going to make a massive impact. And I think most importantly, what you see is that we are one restaurant community. Whether you're a large chain, a small independent, and a small town somewhere in Texas, we are one community. And I think what you've done here is really put a stake in the ground that help is needed across the sector, that we are essentially looking at the hearts of our restaurants, and we are here to serve. That's why people get into this industry. It's a hard industry, but they get in because they want to serve. And so their ability to prepare meals for hospital workers and frontline employees at our independents, and to have brands like Whataburger and Chipotle right there with us, I couldn't think of anything better. I think when we try to quantify the need, about 3 weeks ago, we were asked what we thought maybe in restaurant loss or job loss may impact Texas. And we had, at some point said maybe even 500,000 jobs would be lost. And folks scoffed at us in a way and said, oh, it won't last that long. Last night we listed a report, and it's about 700,000 jobs in our great state have already been lost. And that is those numbers tied to restaurants. They tie to lots of independent restaurants and to lots of chains that are having to pivot overnight and now begin thinking about recovery. So if there's ever been a place that we call home, it's our local restaurant, whether that be Chipotle or Whataburger or an independent. Right now, we need that help. And so I just can't thank you enough. When I received the call that this was being worked on, I thought to myself, gosh, that's an awful lot of money. Blue Cross is an amazing company. So let's see what happens. And I just want to tell you, thank you, and thank all of the folks that were involved in putting this together. I can tell you, I receive a lot of the letters in return from those recipients that receive grants from this fund. It means everything. In some cases, they can keep the doors open for just one more week. And that's something that's good for everybody in Texas. So on behalf of our members, on behalf of the entire Texas Restaurant Association, I just want to say thank you, and we will do great work with this money. And we're really, truly, truly grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. And with that, we will pass it to Ed Nelson, president of Whataburger.
Good afternoon. I am very thankful to be here. And Dan, I certainly appreciate what you guys are doing. Whataburger is about the community. As Emily said, we're about serving our customers. And my leadership team's about serving our family members, and those are our frontline operations employees. For the last 4 weeks, we've been working around the clock to really invest in necessary initiatives to continue to offer hours to our people, continue to make sure that we could take care of them through cleanliness efforts, through all the initiatives that we put in place to protect our family members and our customers, and really in order to let them continue to work to provide for their families. And again, just what Blue Cross Blue Shield is doing to invest in Texas, to invest in restaurants, to allow us to provide hours for our family members, and really to serve the first responders and serve the healthcare providers that are absolutely putting their life on the line for our friends and family in Texas and across the country. I can't say enough, and I'm very humbled to sit here and to have been asked to participate, number one, to participate with other brands, to really participate with local restaurant operators that are across our footprint, because again, it's the small business, the brands are what our restaurant community is about, is really serving. And I am honored that I'm sitting here with Diana, who owns the Steakhouse, who's part of this, who we can absolutely work together to give our restaurant employees hours in order to serve first responders and really to help them take care of their families. So again, we're all working together to get through this. This crisis will end. We will get through this as a country. We will get through this as neighbors. And again, I'm just so thankful. And with that, I hope everyone stays safe. I want to thank everybody, and just God bless everybody who's really focused on lifting up our first responders, our restaurant people, our neighbors, and our communities right now. So with that, I'll hand it back.
Thank you, Ed, very, very much. To give everyone a little bit of an idea of how this grant will manifest, we have worked together with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas, with Whataburger and Chipotle, and now with more than 100 of the independent restaurants that had submitted grant applications when we launched the fund to execute this Feed the First Responders initiative. At the end of this press conference, a landing page will go live on the Texas Restaurant Association's website, where first responders and police, fire, and medical across the state of Texas can go and submit a quick registration form of information to receive either a free combo meal or entree at Whataburger or Chipotle. In the meantime, more than 100 of our independent restaurants will be receiving grants with which they will be able to keep their doors open, their operations running, their employees employed, and also take some individually packaged meals to their local hospitals where we have medical first responders dealing with COVID-19 cases. And so to speak on behalf of the independent restaurants that will benefit from this grant, we invited Diana to join us from Kloesel Steakhouse in Moulton, Texas. So Diana, we'll pass it over to you.
Yes, hello. Thank you for asking me. I really appreciate the opportunity to do this. We are a small restaurant. We've been here, we'll be celebrating our 50th anniversary in July of this year. And this by far is the most traumatic thing that's ever happened to us or this area. This is a rural area. We're from a town of 900 people. It's, of course, it's a lot of population in our area. So we get a lot of business from other towns around here, but it is actually a rural area. So when this all happened, unfortunately, we had to lay off about 10 employees. We kept 7, and well, we laid off a little bit more than 10 if you count the part-timers. But it's been tough, and we try to help the locals. We don't have a hospital in our town. We do have a nursing home, which we fed them just actually this past week, the staff, because the staff on all nursing homes are on lockdown, and so they cannot just leave. They have to, they can't come and go as they please. They're locked down when they're at work, and then they come home, and then they have to go back. And anyway, it's been difficult for a small town. So we appreciate any help that we can get from the relief fund. That's just awesome that they can do that. And we will just do the best we can. That's all I can say. Hopefully it won't last much longer, but hopefully we'll get a lot of our employees back, and we're just gonna have to take it as we can.
Thank you so much, Diana. And you're a perfect example of what is happening so much across the entire state right now, and why we're so excited at what this fund will enable us to do. And whether it's to a full-scale hospital, a local medical center, or those people who have put themselves under self-quarantine in order to be able to serve the elderly who are in these nursing homes, they're all first responders. They're all on the front line. And so the work that you and your team will do to help them will be fantastic. So we thank you for that. We're going to switch back to gallery mode so we can do a quick photo of everyone. So I'll just ask all the panelists to give a quick smile for a second here as we take a photo. Great. And with that, that wraps up our formal presentation. As I mentioned earlier, there's a landing page that is live on our website now. So if you go to www.txrestaurant.org/BCBSTX for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas, first responders of medical, police, and firefighters can register there for a free meal from either Whataburger or Chipotle. And then the independent restaurants who will benefit from this grant, like Diana's restaurant in Moulton, will be receiving their grants in the coming days and then taking meals to the local hospitals. So thank you once again to Blue Cross and Blue Shield for this immense generosity. We hope that this will inspire others to do the same as we continue on our efforts to raise $10 million to support the independent restaurants of Texas. And with that, we will say goodbye.
Thank you again, Dan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Stay safe.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.
Yes, thanks.